What is going on, friends? Welcome to the next episode of the Fit and Healthy Sioux Falls Show, and we are coming at you today with another coach and a little bit of an interesting journey as we talk about Coach Karli's journey, and we actually get ready to send her off onto the next part of her career path. So I'm excited to dive in today with our gal, Coach Karli. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Well, hey, Karli, welcome to the show, my girl. We had you on, I don't know, a couple months back.
A while ago.
Yeah, talking about Fit Body Forever. And I think that was it wasn't right when you were taking it over. I think it'd been almost like a year.
Yeah, a year or two after it.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been a year.
Yeah. So, and now here we are. And my goodness, we've got literally, this episode comes out and we've got like 2 or 3 days is all left with Coach Karli on the mic. Big transitions.
Yeah, it'll be a very big change in my life. And it's been awesome working here for the past few years. So, I mean,
how long have you worked here?
It'll be 3 years, literally the week before.
So you'll hit 3 years.
Yep, and then the next weekend.
And the next week.
Yeah.
Wow. It has been an awesome journey. I still remember back to, honestly, we were at a time and point, this would have been like 3.5 years ago. We were at a time and point where we were looking for a coach, and I had owned Fit Body for 6 years at that time, and never in the 6 years of owning the gym had anybody reached out to HQ or corporate asking if we were hiring. And it just so happened that you sent like a support message through like our corporate website. And all of a sudden, here we are, we're looking for a coach. And I'm like, hey, do we know this Karli? And like, oh yeah, she's just started here at the gym. And I'm like, oh, well, she like applied to be a coach. Like, who is she?
Yeah.
And just so wild to have that be where the journey started and have it take us all the way through here. So I'd love to really talk about where you're headed, why you're headed there. Really, I want to talk to you about like why you even wanted to be a coach. And before we started recording today, you were talking to me about some different like desires and wants that you've had. And really just kind of like, I want to let the audience know, I mean, you've been an awesome coach.
Thank you.
And I tell you what, like the clients, I've had clients letting me know that they are so bummed to see you go, but also so happy to see you go in the way in which you're going, right?
It's very bittersweet.
Yeah, it's one of those things too where change happens.
Yeah.
And it's all about how you navigate it. And I think, man, you're 24? 25 years old. And you know, we talked about this even a couple weeks ago, but the way in which that you're leaving is just such a good way. And I think that that's important because I think that is getting lost a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I know I just kind of unpacked a lot.
That's okay.
But, you know, you can take this wherever you want to go. But let's kind of talk about what kind of, you graduated high school. And, well, first, what year did you graduate high school?
2017.
2017.
Yep.
Okay. And what was like your desired or want, and where did you think you'd head with the career path?
Yeah. During high school, my career path changed quite a bit. I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do. I knew that I kind of wanted to be in some kind of healthcare.
Yeah.
But I also knew that I had like a really big love for sports.
Sure.
Growing up, I played 8 sports.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
okay, what 8? I got 5, 6. I got 8 fingers here.
Okay. Basketball and dance were my main 2.
Okay.
Did those all throughout until I graduated. Track. I ran. I did high jump.
What did you do in track?
Short distance. So I did like 100, 200, 400.
Okay.
Hated
it.
Yeah, I did not like it.
Okay.
I did it to stay in shape for basketball, to be honest.
Okay. Oh, wait. Did you say basketball yet?
Basketball,
dance, track. Okay.
High jump. So
is
field.
that okay? So field, track, and field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Counted as 2.
Okay. 4 more.
Cross country was worse than track.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Terrible.
That's long, lot of,
I hate running. So again, I did it, one of my best friends, it was just in middle school. I did it for 1 year. One of my best friends did it, so I did it with her, and you would run your race and they would hand out popsicles at the end.
Oh.
But I would run so slow that they would literally run out of popsicles. So I wouldn't even get one. Yeah. Anyway, so I think that's 5.
Yeah, we got 3 more.
Volleyball was okay. Soccer, did not like.
What's the last one you think?
I don't know.
Swimming?
No. I got kicked out of swimming lessons though. Yeah, there's a lot.
Lacrosse?
No. It's got to be like a general one. I don't know.
Competitive beanbags.
Yeah, that's got to be his. It'll come to me later.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
I don't know. Bowling?
Yeah. Did you bowl?
No.
Golf?
No. Maybe I counted that. I did first tee for a little bit.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
sports.
Yeah. Very cool.
So sports has always been kind of my passion.
Yeah.
But going into college, I had the idea of doing a biology and psychology major with an art minor, which was so random.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little...
Yeah, so wild. I didn't really know where I was going to go with it. But the idea was to do... I was between 2. I didn't know if I wanted to do like cardiothoracic surgery, which is like heart and like blood veins kind of in the torso area.
Okay.
And then all throughout the body with the cardiovascular, I guess. But I realized I did not want to do surgery at all. And that seemed like a very high stress job. Yeah. And it wasn't revolved around sports. So then I kind of changed my path to like orthopedics.
Okay.
Orthopedic surgeon. And I'm like, no, that's still surgery. So then I kind of landed on orthopedic PA. So that's like bones, hips, joints.
Okay.
And then a physician's assistant, which is usually the initial person that you see, like if you're going into a clinic.
Sure.
And you think that you broke your bone, that's going to be kind of the initial person that you see, and they kind of assess.
Okay.
And kind of evaluate.
Yeah. Check out where you're at.
Tell the orthopedic doctor then kind of what they think is going on. And then the surgeon is who does the procedure then. Obviously.
Sure. Okay. So that was kind of where you initially landed.
Yep.
But then you have to apply to get into those programs.
Yep. So orthopedic PA was what I kind of set on throughout college, and I ended up doing a exercise science major. So it was a little bit more sports related rather than just biology. And then I had a biology and psychology minor, and then actually got a coaching minor as well.
Okay.
So a lot of schooling, and I'm not done.
Right.
Love school. But then I was applying for PA school. Yeah.
So 2017, you graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start in college?
2017.
2017. So like right away.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Graduated in May 2017 of high school at Lincoln here in town.
Okay.
And then I went to Augustana here in town. I've never left.
Okay.
In the fall of 2017.
Okay. And then when you started working at FitBody in 21,
yep.
You were in school?
Yep. I did a bonus semester.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. And so, but you have not been in school now for...
Since January of 22. So 2 solid years.
2 years out of school.
Yep.
But in the interim of those 2 years, you were applying to get into school, right?
Yes. For PA school.
Yeah. Because I remember at one point in time, we had a conversation and you're like, hey, I'll let you know, love being here and definitely want to be here, but I am applying for PA school.
Yeah.
And if I get in, that may change my availability.
Right. And I think honestly, we had that conversation like literally right when I was hired.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, this is kind of my plan, just to be kind of transparent with you guys. And I feel like that's kind of like my
MO.
Yeah.
It's like your go-tos. Hey, this is where I'm thinking I'm heading.
Yeah. Very, very big on communication for sure.
Yeah. That's good. And I think that that's something that, you know, you're 25 years old as you continue throughout your journey. And that's one thing that I have definitely learned in any relationship. Communication is key.
Huge.
Because we can't read minds,
right?
You know, and if you have this thought of, hey, I wonder if they're thinking X, Y, or Z, like you should go have that conversation. And I think even too, over these 3 years of you and I working together, we've even realized that, man, communication is the biggest thing, because a lot of times we may be working or living under this preconceived sense of stress,
right,
that we think someone is thinking.
Yeah.
And then we have that conversation and it's like, I didn't even know you were feeling that way.
Right.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's huge. But you then came to us and said, hey, I am applying for PT school.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had about, I don't know. I think the last time I applied for PA school was probably 2022.
Because did you apply twice?
I did. I graduated, or I applied when I was still in school.
Okay.
And then
That's a hard program to get into, right?
Yeah, huge.
Like, I remember, I think it was you or someone was telling me like so many apply and they select
people that apply like per school.
Okay.
Or something crazy. And then like they pick like one or two.
Yeah.
So it was a very like high intense, applying situation.
Yeah.
And I think that like my application was strong, but we have to like write essays of like, why do you want to be a PA? And like, it was very driven by like helping athletes get back to their sports. And it's like, that's not necessarily what a PA does.
Yeah.
It's definitely like in
the realm.
Yeah. It's in the realm of it. But that wasn't like their key point. So I think that was really not necessarily what held me back, but I think, it wasn't God's plan.
Yeah.
And that was his way of being like, hey, I know what you're supposed to do, but like, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
So like, let's get out of school for a little bit, kind of figure some stuff out.
Yeah.
And then move forward.
And man, I tell you what, when it comes to God's plan, sometimes it's not easy.
Yeah. So yeah.
But it's always one of those things where once you get through the stress, through the struggle, it's like, okay, that was probably a better plan.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's super hard in the moment to, truly understand that. I mean, you go through so much.
Well, and not getting accepted had to be feeling of failure.
Yeah.
Had to be feeling of not good enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you have to deal with those.
Yeah. I mean, I always like to think I've been a good student. I've always like put a high priority on my education, and I'm going to Augustana. I mean, they definitely expect a lot out of you there.
Yeah. Augustana's faith-based, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And to be honest with you, like to be completely vulnerable, I didn't even get an interview for PA.
Yeah.
Like I applied and I didn't even get through the first.
Let's kind of unwrap that if you will.
Absolutely.
How'd that make you feel?
Awful. I just felt, like I wasn't enough. And I feel like that's kind of like not a core value, but like a core belief that I have that is really hard for me to fight against. But again, like I would say over the past year and a half, I've been like really diving back in, getting a little bit deeper with my faith.
Yeah.
And there's like no explanation to like how that changes everything.
Yeah.
So I think once I like, kind of dove back into my faith, going back into that, viewpoint of life in the world and things like that, and just really living out like through Christ.
Yeah.
It was a lot easier to like accept the things that I cannot change and like move forward. I'm not saying it's not hard. Like it's definitely 100%.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier to accept things and move forward and like understand like, okay, this might be hard in the moment, but like I have to understand that like I don't know everything, which is super hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that my plan doesn't always line up with his plan. And that's, obviously the higher.
Yeah.
There's things that I'm not going to understand.
Yeah.
And I think once you get that, it changes everything.
It makes it easy.
Changes everything.
I feel that this is, it kind of led us to a conversation that I didn't expect to have. But I think it's good because I feel like a lot of people, and I'm actually going through this right now. I'm working with a counselor, and I think that sometimes that even gets like a negative notion.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're working with a counselor, you messed up.
Yeah.
But yep, messed up.
Yeah, we all
are. And the thing of it is like what I've really realized is we're all messed up humans.
Yeah.
Just messing up other humans.
Yeah, basically.
Doing our best to not, but that's what we're doing. And one of the things that I'm working through right now with my counselor is understanding that, as it pertains to faith, if you have a faith in Christ and you have a relationship with God, and that is, how you're trying to live,
right.
God has truths that he has basically said about us, that we are valued, that we are loved, that we are worthy, all these things that are truths about us as sons and daughters of Christ. But from the moment that we're born, the world has lies.
Yep.
And the world tells us lies.
Yep.
And from the moment we're born, we start to hear these lies And then what happens is we start to believe them. And when we start to believe them, they become our foundation.
Yep.
And when we have a foundation that is built on lies, it doesn't matter how good we do. It doesn't matter anything that we do.
Yeah.
We still come back to our foundation, which is faulty, built on lies.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like what you said there is you feel that you have like a core belief, not a core value,
Right.
but a core belief
Yep.
of you're not good enough.
Yeah.
And that's totally false.
Right.
However, much easier said than understood. And now, though, you have understood it, you have recognized it. And to your point, you've then been digging in to, hey, what are the truths that God says about me?
Absolutely.
Because those are true.
Yeah.
And then we have to set out on this journey to replace that faulty foundational belief of I'm not good enough with I am absolutely good.
Yeah.
And it isn't overnight, but I've been working on that too. And oh my goodness, I've found so many, I don't know if you want to call them cracks in my foundation, but I've found so many and I didn't even realize, but they're beliefs that I have instilled in me that are totally not true.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of our audience probably watching, listening, they have at least one or two foundational beliefs in them that is absolutely not true.
Yeah.
And it probably is something holding them back because you found one that's holding you back.
Yeah.
I've found several that are holding me back.
Yeah.
And now we work on it.
Yep.
And so you recognize that, hey, PA wasn't the plan.
Yeah.
You decided that you're going to, even through writing your essay, I think you already had some light bulbs like, hey, wanting to help athletes get back to their sport, this and that.
Yeah.
Kind of led you to where you're going now, right?
Again, it kind of goes back to like a faith story. I mean, it wasn't really my intention of our podcast today, but you got to do everything through Christ.
That's right. It goes where it goes.
Yeah. So it definitely makes sense. But I had kind of I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Last time that I applied for PA school, I didn't get any interviews, didn't get in.
Yeah.
I kind of had just like accepted, okay, we're going to rock with Fit Body, which I absolutely love what we're doing here. I just never saw, like, I always thought that I'd be going back to school.
Yeah.
Don't take that wrong.
No.
I absolutely love everything.
Yeah. No. You know me. I don't.
Yeah. Good. And my brother went to med school.
Yeah.
And so we were attending, he had graduated from med school. So we were attending his graduation. And this would have been a year.
Yeah. Like
a year ago.
Ended. Yeah.
A year ago.
Yep.
And so I went to that and we were just sitting in the auditorium in Vermilion.
Yep.
And like hearing all these people's names, like get up and walk across. And I'm like, it was like this push from behind me.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're not done with school.
Yeah.
You thought PA.
Yeah.
You're going PT.
Yeah.
And so the whole ride home, the whole 45 minutes, I'm looking up different PT schools.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's never really crossed my mind. I actually worked at a physical therapy place for about 3 years before I even worked here.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
I think just recently.
Yeah.
You had mentioned, because it's the one that you're working at now, right?
Yeah. So I'm actually back there.
So you're working there, and you have been working there part-time for...
Since about May.
Yeah. A couple days a week.
4
days a week.
Yeah.
Karli likes to fill her schedule. Karli likes to work 40 hours a week at Fit Body and then 40 hours a week at other jobs too.
Yeah.
So,
but I love it. I love what I do.
Yeah. And what's that one that you're at now?
Proactive
Physical therapy.
Yep.
Okay. And you said that they at Proactive, it's on Minnesota Avenue.
Yep.
And they've been around for a while.
25 years. Yep.
Yeah.
He just celebrated 25 years.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited for when Fit Body gets to be
25 years.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
But you said that their kind of target market or average client is probably 55 plus.
Yeah.
Which is just kind of ironic that, you run our 55 plus program at Fit Body, and that is their target demographic there. And so I do feel that you, somewhere inside of you, you have this desire of helping that demographic, the 55 plus demographic, stay active.
Yeah, I really think that, and we talked about this last time, I think that my parents kind of play a huge role in that.
Yeah.
And I feel it feels like a generation that just kind of gets lost. Like we're always worried about the upcoming thing.
Yeah.
We're like, and you and I were even talking about this, like there's not a lot of places that
like sun.
like really dive into like Medicare, Medicaid kind of things.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's tough. I that's really the age that like baby boomers are becoming into that 55 and older generation. And it's just a huge target market that's just not being taken care of. And I think that is a core value of mine, is to just like take care of other people, especially when I feel like they're not being taken care of.
Yeah. And I was talking with either one of our clients in Fit Body Forever, or just someone else that I had met. I don't remember exactly who I was talking to, but we were talking about it's so messed up and backwards how in life you are young and vibrant and you have all this energy and all this desire and all this go to do all these things, and you lack finances.
Yeah.
And then as you age, the goal is to hopefully accumulate finances so that you can have the money to go do all these things. But unfortunately, more often than not, by the time you get the finances to go do all these things, you then lack the health. And it's like, hey, that's messed up.
Yeah.
And so I think that, that's even a desire of yours too, because you see your parents and you're like, and you're very similar to me in the fact, like, I love my parents.
Yeah.
And you have a good relationship with your parents.
Yeah. Roommates.
Right? As a roommates, I love it. I'm in the basement.
Yeah.
But you want to see them go do all the things that they want to go do.
Yeah.
And you don't have your health, you ain't doing it.
Yeah, dude. Hey.
Yep. So now you applied for PT school.
Yep.
Got accepted.
Yep.
And you got accepted a while ago. Was it?
Yeah. So on my drive home, just to like rewind, on my drive home, I'm looking at different schools, and Augustana pops up.
Yeah.
And I went to Augie for my undergrad, and I'm like, whoa, how did I not know that they had a PT program?
Yep.
Because they had just started it. Literally, when I looked it up, they were just starting their first cohort. So I'll be in the second. They call it a cohort.
Okay.
Like a class, second class.
Yeah.
So
that's a new program too.
New program. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had applied. They do, like, it's not an advanced application. I can't remember what it's called right now.
Sure.
But it like, when you apply, they look at it right away and then they'll send it back, where a lot of schools will do like, your application is due November. We're not looking at applications until November. So it doesn't really matter when you send it to us.
Yeah.
So I filled out the application to Augie, and that was the only one I did. And I got in pretty quick.
Right away.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty simple process to where like I got the email back that I was in an interview, and then we did the interview on Zoom, and the interview was weird too. It was a weird process because the questions were recorded.
Oh.
And so then it just like press play, and then I had like 20 seconds to like think about it, and then I would answer the question.
Oh.
So, yeah, super weird. It worked out, obviously. But
I think that's wild, because thinking back, it was like 9 months that you're like, hey, in 9 months from now, I'm going to be going to PT school. And you think about it, and it's like, okay, like we'll deal with that when it comes. Here we are.
Yeah.
And time just keeps flowing. That's one thing that never stops. A lot of things in life we can put on pause. We can't put time on pause.
No.
It keeps going. And so here we are now. And, to that point, we're like, hey, all right, we have to figure out at Fit Body, who's going to kind of take over Fit Body Forever.
Yep.
And how's that going to look and all that. And we've been working on that and getting that ready to rock. And here we are now. We're going to be, celebrating your last day this coming Saturday.
Yeah.
And you're going to be miking it up.
Yeah. Better see you
last time. Yeah. Better see you there, whether you're a client, past client, future client, never want to be a client. Whoever you are, come hang out with us.
It'll be a party.
It'll be a party. And because that's August 31st.
31st.
This coming Saturday. And it's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
I feel like, I think we're even, like, West is going to be
West is closed, yeah.
Closing West, inviting everyone over here.
Party.
We're going to just open up the garage doors,
Yeah.
have a great time. But, so when do you start school?
Yeah. So our first, like, day of class is September 30th.
Okay.
We have in-person, that's a Monday.
Yep.
We have in-person orientation on the Thursday, Friday before. So I believe it's like the 26th, 27th of September.
That's in-person orientation.
Yep. But then we have 3 online courses to complete before. And kind of like you said, I've been working 60-hour weeks. Mm-hmm. So I've been like kind of tapping into it, but like not super serious about it. So between, this upcoming Saturday, I guess, the 31st and the 26th.
You got to get those 3.
I got to get those 3 things done. Yeah. hopefully by the time this comes out, I'll have one of them done or
Yeah,
something.
absolutely. And so, and I think that's good too, that you gave yourself some time to transition. We had talked, and I believe the plan is that you're still going to work out, and because you're going to still be living here in town, going to school, but it's like all online, except for like 2 weeks, a month or something.
Yeah, so they do a hybrid program.
Okay.
So usually PT school is like 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And Augie is doing it in 2, so I don't really get too many breaks. We go right through the summer.
Yeah.
And through the first year, it's like 6-7 weeks online, to where some of our courses are like on Zoom, so they call it synchronous.
Okay.
And then some of our courses are asynchronous, so they just send us kind of like the information and we go through it on our own. And so we do that for like 6-7 weeks, and then we have a week to 2 weeks in Blaine, Minnesota for
what's in Blaine?
It's the National Sports Center. It's like the biggest youth sports center. I think it's just like a facility that's closer to.
So Augie partnered up with them.
I think so. I would assume so.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, you'll learn more, obviously.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah. I feel like I know nothing about my program for it starting in a couple of months. But with that being said, I think like our main doctors live in Blaine, Minnesota. So
got it. How far away is Blaine? Do you know?
It's 30 minutes north of Minneapolis.
Oh, okay.
Probably like a solid 4 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. And then where do you stay? Do they have like dorms or something down there? Or?
Yes. It's kind of like, it's a room with like 4 bunk beds. So if you want to do that, you can. You got to pay for it like every other thing.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can just stay wherever you want.
Yeah. I just booked a hotel for my first one because the intention is like you can stay with your friends or whatever, but like we
don't know anybody.
Yeah.
So
Everything's online.
I got no friends.
Yeah, I ain't got no friends. Which is funny because it's an Augie program.
Yep.
And so being from Sioux Falls, being an Augustana grad, working in Sioux Falls, like I've literally never left.
Yeah.
I kind of assumed that I would like know a couple of people because the class is supposed to be 100 people. I don't even know how big our class is.
Okay.
And I literally know one person. And the ironic thing is that she works at the PT place that I do.
Oh, crazy.
And I went to Costa Rica with her.
And she's in your cohort.
Yeah. She's the only person I know in my class.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So how does she work full time at?
No, she works morning and I work afternoon, so I never see her, but we communicate. And text and stuff.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so big things coming, big change coming. And change isn't easy, and that's one thing that Karli and I had kind of talked about. As you go into this change, and that's one thing that I do, and I know you as well. A lot of our clients too. Fit Body becomes family. Yeah. It becomes community, and so. It's just so important that as we go through these changes in life, that we have that support, that community. And so it'll be a lot of fun to still see you coming in and getting your workouts in. And then who knows, whenever we may need a guest coach on the mic, Karli's only a text or phone call away. So, I mean, I could definitely see that as possibilities into the future. But let's just dive in. We got a little bit of time here. I want to dive into what has been let's kind of highlight the last 3 years of you being a coach. What have been some like moments that pop up in your mind that you haven't really thought about, but they pop up in your mind? It's like, man, these are highlights. Yeah, these are highlights of my 3-year career at Fit Body.
I think the first thing is so silly that pops up into my mind when West opened. Yeah. We did a dunk tank. And I think that for me is just such a big highlight. It was just so fun. It was so different out there. And I remember we were raising money. I believe it was for the Special Olympics. Yep. We put all these mason jars out. Yep. And people had like put money in there. And whatever coach had the most money in there got to go in the dunk tank.
Oh, and Fit Body Forever, they rallied up, man.
Gosh. They literally took, I think there was another coach that was, it was between me and another coach. And they took the money out of the other coaches and counted it. And they made sure I had like $2 extra. Yeah. Because they were like the last session before we pulled the
called it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but honestly, I think like overall, not necessarily like a specific moment, but just like being with Fit Body Forever has been such a blessing, honestly. Yeah. And going to school and getting an exercise science degree, I always said the last thing I want to do is work at a gym. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever said that to you.
No. But hey,
it was just like never in the plan. And kind of like we were talking about, like when you plan things, it never really works out.
Yeah.
And I think that this has been the best thing for me. You have taught me so much.
Yeah.
I think I've grown up a lot in the past 3 years. I'm getting teary-eyed.
It happens.
Yeah, but I would not be the same person I am today without working here and without your support and your help in it. And working here has been unlike literally anything else. You have been such a big support and truly just like a mentor for me.
Yeah.
Both in like a business aspect of things, personal growth aspect of things, a faith aspect of things.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not, I think that, you know, you have more people. Yeah, of course. You have more people looking up to you than you know.
Yeah.
And I don't really think that like the age matters. You are, you know, just a little bit older than I am.
Yeah. Got you by 9 years.
Yeah, come on now. But I do think like even people who are older than you and working out here, they can see kind of how you're living and how you're projecting like your life.
Yeah.
And living very faith-based and very like people-oriented.
Yeah.
We were just talking, what is it today, Thursday? 2 days ago, we were talking about our bird profiles. So our bird profiles are kind of like our personalities.
Yep.
And we are both big, huge parrots.
Yep.
So we like to talk, we like to yap, we like to be loud, we like to be center of attention.
Yeah.
And you do a good job of like just incorporating everybody into everything that you do.
Yeah.
But not picking it about yourself. And I think that's just something that I admire about you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And again, like these are things that I've probably never told you, but things that I've always thought about you.
Yeah.
And it's been such an honor to work, you know, not underneath you, but like beside you.
Yeah.
You never put yourself on a pedestal, even in like a team aspect way of things.
Yeah.
And that has just been so fresh compared to literally anything else out there.
Yeah.
Being kind of, you know, like a locally owned gym, you know, you're running things with your people and you love to tell kind of your story of when you started. I mean, you used to like literally sleep here.
Yeah.
Because hey, it's a one-man show and you'd sleep here, you'd get up, coach the morning sessions, take a nap, wake up, coach the afternoon sessions, sleep here.
Yeah.
And so putting Fit Body at the forefront of your life has really affected thousands of people.
Yeah.
And I know that it's not necessarily been the easiest journey for you throughout the 9+ years that you've been here, but having that effect on so many people. And I mean, that's really the goal.
Yeah.
And you're doing it.
Yeah. You know, I really appreciate that. I think that our team, and I know you know this being part of the team, but like, and I've shared this with our team multiple times, and I think I probably even shared it with our listeners, but I always, when I started off, I always would pray. I was like, God, if you're going to bless me to keep this business going, bless me with an amazing team. And I really feel that our team is a dream team.
Yeah.
You know, do we have struggles in our team? Of course. We have friction. We have points of contention where we have to, you know, chat and talk and work through things. But I think that's it, right? When the going gets tough, we don't just like part ways with each other. We dive deeper, have a conversation, let's work through it. And I think that's why our team has been able to really relate to so many of our clients in the way that we do, because every single one of our clients, and this is something we always say, we have no idea what they're going through. They walk in and we get them for 30 minutes. And so how can we be the light in their life for 30 minutes to make sure that, you know, whatever darkness that you might be going through in the world, you can turn it off for 30 minutes, focus on you, become the best version of yourself, and then go out there and deal with the darkness. Yeah. And I think to your point, you had said, like, I never kind of picture myself in a gym.
Sure.
I resonate with that.
Yeah.
Why I do is because, man, when I graduated high school in 2008, went and got certified as a personal trainer in 2009, moved back to Sioux Falls and worked at a gym, one-on-one training. Yep. And same, like it wasn't for me.
Right.
I didn't like it. It was nothing to do with the gym. It was nothing to do with that establishment. It had everything to do with like, I don't like gyms. Yeah. Like I really don't.
Yeah.
Even to this day, when I walk into a traditional gym, I get kind of like the heebie-jeebies. Like, man, this is my profession. And I still feel, because it's that foundational belief of I don't fit in here. Yeah. The gym's not for me. Like these beliefs that we're working on reversing and redefining. Right. But in Fit Body, it's like, it's a gym, but it's
so much more than that. And I think I primarily work with Fit Body Forever. That's kind of been my baby.
Yep.
Yeah. For the past couple of years. And, you know, even with them, I was having a conversation with them the other day, and like I've been making our workouts a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And I was like, at the end of the day, I don't really care how much. I mean, I do care,
Yeah.
and I don't really care how much you're like working out because they like to chat quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't care how much you're lifting. I don't care how much, you're. Yes, I want you to progress. Yes, I want you to lift more.
Yeah.
But like the main goal is like we're building a community, we're building a family, and like we're having this true connection because, like you said, if you're going into a traditional gym, especially for that 55 and older, like, or what do you do?
What do you do?
You just feel,
you're alone.
You kind of just feel out of place.
Yeah.
Not saying you can't do that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have that community feel, and I feel like a lot of us are just looking to do life with other people.
Oh yeah. I feel that life is a team sport.
It is, yeah.
And so many people get stuck doing life alone.
Yeah.
And, Jacob, Lewis, and I, this was probably 4 months ago, released an episode, maybe not 4 months, but regardless, released an episode just about isolation and loneliness and how when you can do life with others, you can get better results in your health and fitness. You can get better results just in your life. Yeah. And so I don't even know where I heard that first, but I just love that saying of I feel that life is a team sport.
Yes.
Because you just need other people to lean on.
Yeah.
And I feel like even to this day, you're now leaving and transitioning into a new career, but we still have our connections and our relationships that we've built over these 3 years together that we're going to still be able to lean on into this next chapter in your life.
Yeah.
And I love that because there's so many things that you have really become the expert on within FitBody, from different things with FitBody Forever to community engagement to organizing events. And I know without a question of a doubt that if I, a month, 2 months, 3 months on the road, I'm like, hey, how did Karli do this? What was the process? Where is she keeping this stuff?
Yeah.
I know that you can just reach out, right? And I can ask and we can get that info from you. And same, I know for you that it's like, hey, if all of a sudden I'm struggling with X, Y, or Z, I know that my gym, my people got my back.
Yeah. I mean, I see you guys more than I see my friends, and I tell FitBody Forever that a lot too. I mean, you're the people that I'm surrounding myself with constantly.
Yeah.
And I think one of the first things that I heard when I started working here is like, you are a sum of the 5 people that you kind of like surround yourself with. And again, I think that's why I've like grown so much in the past 3 years, is just because there's so many like great people around me. Yeah. With good, solid,
from staff to clients, to the community things that we get involved with. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love it, Karli. This has been fun. It's been fun to kind of take a little different look, right? This is the first episode of Meet the Coach that we're launching, where it's like, hey, meet the coach and say goodbye to the coach. But it's been awesome. Yeah. If there's one piece of advice, and I kind of put you on the spot here, if there's one piece of advice that you could give our listeners, what would that advice be? Whether it's health or fitness, life, career, like what is our young, bright 25-year-old mind's advice?
I feel like this has been coming up a lot this past week. When you feel like you don't want to do the things, like, know that you're not alone. And I help with youth group, and we had a little bit of a youth group night last night. We had a worship night, and a couple of the girls came up to me and they were like, I just, sometimes I just don't feel like praying. Like, I don't feel like doing it. Yeah. Or like, I don't feel like that connection, that pull on my heart. And it's like, yeah, we all feel that sometimes, whether it's, within your faith, within going to the gym, with going to work. Like, sometimes you just don't feel like doing it. You just kind of want to hang out, walk through the paces. And so hear that everybody goes through it, but also know that like you are called to get back on the horse and keep going. Yeah. And you have your people there to help you get there. Yep. So know that you're not in it alone. Yeah. Even if you feel alone, you got Jesus there with you by your side. Yep. Know that everybody else is going through, something similar. Yep. And that you're going to get through it.
Pick yourself back up. Yeah. Keep going.
Keep going.
I love it. I love it. Well, you guys, you spent some time with us today. I appreciate you guys for coming in. Karli, thank you for taking the time
thank you.
To jump on. Again, this is a Thursday. You're probably listening to it maybe on a Friday. Sure. So if you're listening to it at any time before the 31st, I'm calling you out August 31st, 2024.
Yep.
Central location.
Yep.
Get your booty to the gym.
7:30, 8:15.
7:30 and 8:15. 2 opportunities to come and just have an amazing workout. And again, whether you're a client, you're not a client, you ever maybe think that you would be a client, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Come to the gym, have a good time with us.
Yeah.
We're going to be there having a blast and really just sending you off with all the love.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really fun day. So wherever you're at in your health and fitness journey or in your life, know that Fit Body is here for you. We'd love to see you August 31st. And other than that, Karli, excited to kind of watch as you continue on your journey.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. Thank you.
You know that we're here.
Yeah.
And we will keep on rocking.
Yeah.
Love
Absolutely.
it. Well, hey, you guys have an awesome day. I hope to see you on August 31st. And know that, hey, how long is the program? 2 years, you said?
2 years. Yep.
2 years. So know that in 2 years, when you are looking for your go-to PT, we're going to have your gal, Karli, ready to help you out on that journey. But hey, have an awesome day. See you on Saturday.
Yep.
Other than that, know that you're awesome. Go out, have a great day. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Sioux Falls Fit and Healthy Show. All right, you guys. Bye-bye.